Yay.
So, last session, having made it to the desert city of Altair, looking for their bounties of um,
Greg and Grog.
there's four of them. I can't remember their names.
Oh
Greg and
god, there's four of them.
Grog.
I only know three.
Finding that they're uh, arriving after a sandstorm delayed them a little bit. Took a night at the inn where they met a local tabaxi, a Black Panther by the name of Jinx. It seemed to be regaling some of the bar people of his adventures and quests throughout the area, who they challenged to a little three-dragon ante and cleaned him out of some money. That night, when they were learned that their potential lead may have disappeared from the city, Victor was greeted with a message from the daughter of the god Incendium to find a relic in a temple of her father's near there and bring it back to her, and she could give them the location of their bounties of Greg and Grog. We now join them in the morning trying to get information on where they want to go and what to do. That's your guys' cue.
I know. One moment, please. Apparently I have. Did my notes from the last... that makes me angry. My notes I took last session are not saved.
You're supposed to take notes.
Imagine not compulsively hitting Control S every 4 seconds. Couldn't be me.
So let's see. So I think last time I remember left off, we were going to the bazaar. So Victor's
Yes,
going to go purchase at the bazaar.
Okay, so yeah, basically as you exit the inn, you see that same kind of fountain where you can refill any water you need. See a bunch of people gathering kind of their water for the day there. You see kind of off to the left the looming big Fort Eagle that kind of shades a good portion of the town. Looking at it's kind of got a couple the upper shells of it kind of are like spread out in like a wing pattern of an eagle to just kind of spread out and kind of guard the place. If you want to give me a perception check looking up at that, you can.
Sure thing. Where's my sheet? There we go. One of these days it will load. There we go. Thank you, Roll20. So perception.
Yep.
See, I'll roll. Oh, I got a 9. Yay! Thank you, Roll20.
Start strong.
Yeah, it's a pretty big looking fort. If anyone else wants to roll looking at it, because it's kind of hard to miss.
Perception. Nice roll. 20.
10.
Okay, so the only person that notices this on there is when you kind of squint at Mountain Blood, you can see it looks like a couple like things hanging off from kind of the side that you can see. Looks like people that like Bo is kind of trained to like watchers kind of looking out from some of the cliffs on there to scour the area.
It's gonna be scouts or something up there.
Yeah, more on the kind of behind you. If you look back, it's kind of where the residential district is. And then kind of straight ahead of you, you see just a big line of tents going straight ahead of you that are like all people gathered around selling food, wares, clothing, rugs, basically anything you'd find in the traditional kind of desert area, bazaar kind of like thing.
It's like a outdoor marketplace.
Yep.
Just up the road.
I'm assuming you're Victor and Malblood are together, right? I literally don't remember.
Yeah, wait, are we all together?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, this is. I thought we said this was the next.
Yeah,
the
you're,
next
it's the
whatever.
morning, so I'd
Oh.
assume
Yeah.
you'd all left at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep. God, my voice hurts from all that singing yesterday. Ah, I've done that for so long. Not used to that.
Well,
So, Victor's going to head for the bazaar because he needs to buy a couple things.
Okay,
Just
what are you
kinda-
looking for exactly?
First off, Victor wants to see if he can find a lovely cloak of protection.
Book. Also the wrong book.
One day we'll find the correct book.
You know which book that one's from? Oh, there it is.
It's Dungeon Master's Guide.
Okay, so yeah, give me what would be good for this?
He'll probably argue investigation since he's investigating.
I'm
Investigation or survival, whichever you want to pick.
I'm going to pick investigation because
I was-
smart reasons.
Man, I was gonna go out on a limb and say religion.
Hmm.
Roll animal handling.
For what?
You really want me to roll animal handling? See just how far Roll20 wants to bind me in the Alps today?
Yeah, looking around at some of the shops, you see a few selling like cloaks and like robes and stuff like that, like ones to protect you from like the desert and stuff like that, but none that's the exact cloak of protection you seem to be looking for. You get haggled by a few people. You see one, oh, Mr. Redskin Man, you look like you could use a nice little hands you like a little turban to protect you from the elements out in the desert.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Don't fall for it, don't fall for it.
Not what you were looking for? How about holds out like a big billowing cape like one?
I swear to God. Like, does it build on the actual wind or does it just build on its own?
Well, it's billowing on its own from the actual kind of... It is a little windy today.
It's just
I'm powering
an
my
unknown
eyes at that.
source.
It's like what he
But
goes
there
to feel
looks like
the
nothing special about it, just a basic, cloak to protect you
Yeah.
from the elements.
goes to feel the material. It's like, is this made of drugs? You're like, of course, everything is made of drugs.
So, alright, I feel the material. What is it? It's like silk or
Fall for it, fall for it, fall for it.
Basically, kind of cotton, essentially. Basic cloth fabric.
yeah, it's not exactly good. It's like not exactly what I'm looking for. Is Victor's response.
What are you looking for? Maybe I have it tucked away, hidden away.
Give me one moment. Let me actually pull this up. I'm looking for something that's been like cloak that's been enchanted. Something that's meant to protect more than just the elements.
Let me see.
Something that would keep me in, that would protect me from danger as well as well, what have you.
I do have one. It's I bought it off someone not realizing how ineffective it is in this area. He pulls out a kind of a bluish looking cloak
Yeah.
that's got kind of like gold little gilded around like the edges of it. Hands it out to you. I could sell you this for a little spendier than most of my stuff, but it's a little special. It's called the Cloak of the Manta Ray. Part it with you for 200
200.
gold.
Hmm.
What it lets
How
you
much?
do is you can breathe underwater with it, which is so useful around here.
You know, for saying that, I'm assuming that's with a discount, considering it's nobody. Nobody really want to pick it up in a desert area.
Yeah, I
That's
figured I'd
cheap.
offer you since I've never seen you before. I assume you're a traveler and may get some use out of it.
So, is there any way I can appraise that to figure out, like, okay, is he trying to stiff me? Or is he trying to haggle me for more money, or should I haggle, or is that like a bargain? Like, what role would I
Well,
make
you
to
have
figure
to
that out?
roll an insight to figure that out.
Oh boy, that's actually, yeah, let's roll insight.
Can someone do like a detect magic to make sure that the cloak is like legit?
Yeah, if you want to do an Arcana check.
Let's first do the insight. Actually, yeah, no. Let's do the Arcana first. Let's go crazy. 12.
Yeah, you can tell it's given off a magical glow to it.
All right, and now for the insight to see whether he's trying to argue for a higher price. Oh, better. 16.
No, this guy's trying to get rid of it. It's no good to him, so
Fate is not in my favor.
You know, it's not what I'm looking for, but hey. No. You're right, I do get to travel around. It might come in handy later on. Who knows? So let's see. Before I do that. 200 gold is fine. Yeah, I've got the money.
we have a
So
deal then.
We do in fact have a deal. So he's going to pass over 200 gold. Now he's got a fancy new cloak.
Here, let me see if that one's actually Endium.
Yeah, I know it's in the DMG. I'm actually looking at one spot down from when I was 1 or 2 spots down from when I want it. So worst case scenario, I'll just trade it.
As we walk away, tell Victor, I could have punched him and could have gotten it for free.
Would you like to go back to
Okay, I know.
would just say, would you like to go back to jail?
No one would know.
There. I should have added it to your inventory now, so.
Oh, I guess I was adding it myself. Whoopsies.
I'll just take one
Yeah.
out then.
Boop. Alright, go ahead and add it.
And you, let's see. Mountain Blood, you want to do anything then, since you're right here?
Um, I'm thinking since we're in the marketplace, let's see. Do I need anything?
Actually, while I was thinking of that, I do have one other question for our flower salesman.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm waiting a second.
So,
For our cloak salesman.
Sure.
So Victor would inquire, like, if there's any place you can get like a parasol or an umbrella, something to keep the sun off.
Let me roll for him, see if he knows. Yeah, unfortunately, I keep to my shop most of the day. I'm not sure who would. I'd imagine looking around, you'd find something. If I had any, I would offer.
Works for me.
I just want to see if there's any shops that are offering books. Maybe like a general shop, library of some kind for purchase.
Okay, so yeah, roll me an investigation. See if you can find any.
Alright. Dice roll, go. Damn, 6.
As far as you can see, there's some. Like, what exactly were you looking for again? Just to make sure I have this right.
Books.
Books?
Books.
What kind of book, I should ask, too?
Some, I would say, kind of like what I was trying to pursue before, something in the Arcana category. Just if we happen to be passing through.
And in the quick glances you could do with all, like, the stalls selling, like, random food and clothing and all that other stuff, you don't seem to see many places selling books around here.
Oh, yeah.
You see a few here and there, but they're more mundane, everyday books, like history books, cookbooks, stuff like that. Nothing arcane based.
Okay. Well, if there's just general books, available, I'll at least take a gander.
Yeah, I
See if
see
there's
a
anything that piques my interest.
place that has a few of them. Basically, you see one that says the greatest recipes from each of the 4 corners of the empire, the cuisine of Fui Fui, the history of the empire per the first 100 years, basic book of religious studies, stuff like that would be the ones that really pop out to you. That's not like just basic fiction books, stuff like in stories.
Be interested in the history of the empire and book of many religions, or whatever the other one was.
Religious studies book, yeah, they'd
Yes.
both. You could get them both for a gold each.
Okay, just something to pass the time. So, fair enough.
And Darius, what are you going to be looking for then?
He's not looking for anything specific, but if they're passing through the market anyway, he would also be keeping an eye out for a parasol for our dear sun-scorched little bard. she had asked people to keep an eye out, and
She literally looks like the Gray Boo. She's just like arms down, just longed face, like just skin and bones, just staring at you.
Okay, give me an investigation check as well.
all right. 13.
13, yeah, you happen to come across a little shop that's kind of tucked away, hidden behind a couple other ones. It does seem to have a few kind of like parasols available for sale. You see kind of a middle-aged half-elf lady running the shop.
Walks over, and are the parasols out in like an umbrella stand kind of thing where you can just take them out and inspect them? All right, yeah, he'd pick a sturdy looking one that looks like it might hold up to a little bit of travel. Open it.
As you're
Close it.
doing that, you see the lady around the shop. Ah, yes, my young fellow. How can I help you today?
As he's just, kind of opening and closing it a few times, nods, walks it over towards the counter. Be like, one of our traveling companions is withering a bit in the sun.
Are you, Wimpy, are you following Andaris around?
Yes, he's moving like a ghost behind him.
She kind of looks over. Ah, I see. First time out in the desert, dearie? She's directing that at you, Lyric.
Imagine.
So apart she can't even talk.
Yeah. All she gets is that, like,
That
sound.
Okay, then she goes. So yeah, I take it you look at that one. That's more of a traveling one. That's what you're looking for, I'm assuming.
Yeah, something that won't reverse itself at the first gust of wind.
Yeah, there's. He kind of points to some of like the more frilly looking ones. Yeah, these are more meant for in town purpose, but that one's. You did pick out one of my more traveling ones if you're going to be making trips out in the desert. I'll bet you want to be careful if you hit a big dust storm. Even that still might wear it out and turn it inside out, so just be aware of that.
Yes, in that instance, we'd be more likely to dig ourselves in, I suppose.
He kind of looks off in the distance. And it looks like there might be a big one brewing between here and the capital, so hope that's not the way you're heading.
Yeah, we will be eventually, but we have some business to conduct here first, so hopefully it blows over beforehand.
And hopefully it doesn't blow this way either. That'd be unfortunate.
What
I was,
happened?
I was just thinking about this. Would Lyric get an advantage on intimidation checks just due to her dehydrated state?
Yeah, I'd see if you'd want to be okay if you did tried to do an intimidation.
It's like, ooh, looking so ghastly.
Yeah, that one would be about 2 gold.
It's old. Just hands it to Lyric and just bunks down 2 gold.
Be safe out there, dearies.
You're easy.
Thank you, madam.
No,
Lyric, anything you want to search for in particular now that you've got your umbrella?
As soon as she opens up the umbrella, she just going from winter to spring, she just springs up with energy.
just poof, and then she's back to normal.
See the half-elf lady that was running to go, oh, that was interesting. To use that as a sales pitch next time.
Away from her, she's back to being umbrella back over, away, back. Hey!
Hey! Oh.
Okay, so yeah, nothing else you want to do then, Lyric?
No, she's okay.
Okay. Everyone give me a quick perception check.
That's
Right,
a 21.
still perception. 5.
$17.
And Andaris?
8.
Okay, yeah, basically, Mountain Blood, you're kind of distracted looking at your books. And Darius, you happen to notice a lot of people seem to be heading towards a certain part of the bazaar, kind of near the center of it right now. Victor and Lyric, you also smell something that's really kind of Got a lot of fragrant spices to it. And really good, strong smell to it coming from that same direction as well. Like, smells really good. Whatever it might be.
Mm. No, I'm not really. Well, Victor's not really particularly hungry since they just had breakfast not that long ago. But he is interested to figure out what's where that delicious smell is coming from. So that's definitely caught his attention.
Yeah, you notice it seems the people seem to be going towards that smell. And Darius, you just notice the crowd that's kind of going towards something. You don't notice the smell though.
So Victor would poke Mountain Blunts like, and just say, "Hey, we're heading out." It's he would gesture towards the center of the bazaar. So you smell that?
You can give me another perception to see if you notice it this time, Mountain Blood.
Perception. High roll. 14.
I was gonna say with advantage, but that doesn't matter. But
It
yeah, with that
can
roll,
cross
you
the bar.
still notice you're specifically focusing on the scent. You do smell that same
Ooh.
kind of really strong, fragranty, spicy scent.
Let's follow it to the source.
Besides, worst case scenario, we can use it to get some. Maybe we'll find some place to get some good rations for the road. Yes, I do got to think about that. Anywho,
Oh yeah.
off we go.
And Lyric, are you gonna go towards the crowd too?
Yeah, she's gonna try and find the source of the smell.
Yeah, so yeah, as you get closer to the kind of what looks like the center area of the bazaar, you see some people crowding around a really kind of big stall that's basically just says, oh crap, I forgot the name of this. I didn't write it down either, I don't think. Shoot, what did I call this? Crap, I'm stupid. I had a good pun for this too, and it pisses me off that I can't remember it. Ugh.
Crap, you had something for this. I'm just going back on Archer quotes.
But basically, this says some kind of jerky you can't like jerky stall. You see a bunch of people crowding around buying it. That's got some bunch of people seem to be buying this stuff.
Is it jerky?
Essentially, kind of a seasoned like jerkied meat. Yeah.
Mountain Blood's face is like Homer when he's thinking about food.
Biltong.
Yep. Salivating like a lot.
But yeah, you want to give me a perception check? Everyone?
Everyone.
Sure.
13.
23.
13.
But yeah, both Skull Smasher and Victor see them everywhere, like the people buying from there walking away, just these pretty big like chunks of meat of some kind that's basically that, like if you use this for a trail ration, could last like a week or so for just constantly eating that for one person.
Ooh.
Lyric and Darius both noticed that basically the meat, if you can see some of the ones you get a really close look at, it's got a good marble in it, so it's gonna be good and tender, and as you can see this, it's just covered and like dried on, caked on spices on the outside of it. Like the stuff's just gonna be probably full of different, like distinct flavors and stuff like that.
Be pretty exotic tasting.
Yeah.
Something funny happened.
Yeah, once that seasoned meat smell hits Andaris, he might be floating along by the nostrils like a cartoon man who just smelled a pie.
You are following the trail.
Yeah, you can see people kind of pushing in line to get through to the front to try to get some of it. You hear one guy kind of pushing his through. Ah, God damn it, it's been a month since they've had some. I gotta get up there.
What is it? What is this meat?
You
That's
say
so
that to
sad.
the guy?
Yes, I asked him since he's passing through.
Oh, yeah, it's a local butcher only makes it gets it out here once a month. It's just basically really good. I don't know what kind of meat he uses, but it's seasoned. The seasoning on it's so goddamn good.
That's my interest. Must seek the meat.
So figure we're trying to get ahead because try and get some find some of this whatever beef jerky that seems to be attracted so much attention. Because man's a carnivore.
Could we should I line back here all the way up to the front, just bulldoze everybody over?
Not I would not suggest that. I mean, like above board, play however Mount Blood would want to, but Victor would absolutely fall behind. But he does not suggest that's a good idea.
Okay.
He's trying
Well,
not
I
to piss off
just
the local guard.
uh,
Otherwise, do becomes natural.
how about I moderately push people out of my way since I'm so big?
Yeah, you do seem to see people kind of pushing through the crowd and not really caring about a line right now.
All right, in that
You-
case,
you-
yes, absolutely.
You say you're big mountain blood, but what if you were extra large?
Are you actually together with us, or are you still on the other side of the bazaar?
Yes. Lyric sees
Large
this line
me.
and
And then
one blood trying to get through.
entire. Yes.
So you now are a huge Goliath.
Like I wasn't
Everyone
big
sees
already.
this mountainous man kind of spring up in the middle of the crowd, starts walking towards the meat place.
Victor will follow closely behind because
since I
he
am-
understands how weights work.
Since I am enlarged, how about I will also just do a general intimidation so people will back off, not just due to my size, but
Okay,
Oh,
roll for it with
yeah.
advantage.
yeah.
Some tourists
Combo.
point and scream, Gojira!
Due to the international cover, it's not Gojira.
24. I just yell, back off. I'm going for the meat.
As it seems to split the Red Sea, just a path kind of splits open between you and the front of the line of the stall.
Just look back at everybody. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you.
So you kind of see the
Passing
guy
through.
looking up at you. Well, that's first and someone's tried to get my wares here. You kind of see a dwarven looking man kind of standing there, kind of handing stuff out to you. Well, you're new. I suppose you've never had the local delicacy of my dried preserved meat, have you?
No. I'd be willing to sample it if possible.
I don't do samples, good sir, so you'll just have to buy it and try it for yourself.
How much would it be for a sample?
Well, I have basically he just slaps down like a good, looks like 3-pound, 4-pound roast of it. This will be 5 gold. I don't sell smaller.
Gold works for me.
What was that?
I said 5 gold, fine with me.
Okay,
I
so
give him
this
the
is
5
the regular. Do you want extra spicy or sweet or extra peppery?
How about a run of everything?
That'll be 20 gold for 4 of them. He says 20 gold for all 4 flavors.
Yes, that
Okay.
works.
he hands you 4 kind of decent slabs of giant pieces of preserved meat. This stuff will last a good month, so enjoy. So basically, you have enough rations for yourself for literally a month. So,
where do you source out your meat from? What's its origins?
Trade secret, my good sir.
So as soon as Bound Blood steps away, Victor's going to go up and order, or at least two slices of one slice is peppery and as spicy as possible, and one standard.
So spicy, and then just basically kind of like the basic flavor.
Yeah.
So basically, it's got original teriyaki, extra spicy, and peppered.
Ooh.
So extra spicy and original?
Extra spicy and original.
Okay, so that'll be 10 gold, and that's enough basically for also a month for you because you're not as big as Mountain Blood, so.
I also have a bag of holding, so it doesn't matter. So Victor will get back out of line and
You tell it.
try some of the. Yeah, he's going to try some of the spicy stuff first.
By the way, you're still large, aren't you, Mountain Blood?
Yes, probably.
How long does this spell last? Let me see. 1 minute?
Just a minute.
So yeah, about now it should be running out, so.
As I'm walking away, then
Just the little Mario D. There we go.
And Darius, earlier, are you gonna get any?
Yeah, Mountain Blood Shrinks is like do bum. Yeah, he's not necessarily looking to stock up for a month, but he's gonna get some of that the peppered.
So just one would be 5 gold.
The original teriyaki.
Oh boy, the black peppered stuff is good.
I've been on Texas. I've had prepared meats like that. It's really good.
Yeah, you can look at it's got like mixtures of like the basic typical black pepper, white pepper, pink peppercorns, and a whole bunch of other little spices here and there.
Wait, what were the flavors again? Just so I know.
Basically, the basic jerky flavors.
Okay.
And then, Lyric, you gonna buy any?
I know she's okay.
Okay.
She saw how much that poor Mountain Blood got. She's probably just gonna steal some eventually.
I just look over, like, no, mine.
Sounds like a good way to get fingers broken.
So anyone gonna peel some off right now and have it?
Actually, Victor was going to offer Lyric a little bit of the regular stuff, but it comes with a price.
The little what you posted in there's Baz. It's funny.
I haven't seen it yet.
As you're walking away, you hear him yelling, "Get your sun-dried preserved meat, everyone! It'll be another month before another batch is ready. I just started it yesterday." So, and what flavor is everyone going to try?
Well, Victor's going to try the extra spicy original teriyaki one.
For the sweet stuff.
I thought you said you bought the original and the peppered.
I
got the peppered one, the extra spicy one, as well as a standard.
Okay, so you
The
got
standard
original
one
and
that's low.
spicy.
Okay. Sorry, I thought I must have minced the words together. I apologize.
Yeah. So yeah, basically as you
Anything.
Oh,
as
yeah.
you kind of take a little piece off of the the spicy one, you kind of see it. Some of the, like, if you squeeze it, you see some like really clear fat kind of seep out of it as you kind of squeeze into it. It's good, soft but strong. Bite into it, it kind of just basically falls apart as you bite into it.
No.
You kind of feel slow that the tingle of the spices go all the way down your throat. So basically, as you bite into this, you feel like cold damage won't hit you as bad as it would. You have resistance for cold damage for the rest of the day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's see, where would I add that? I'm just gonna make a note.
Gonna say
Blood
this, you're
ghost.
probably not gonna run anything that does cold damage in the desert, but it's there.
Should like you should probably hold on to the grease or the oils or something. Might be good for a spell of some sort, I'm sure.
Unfortunately, I'm not that kind of wizard. That's why I literally get that kind of spellcaster. That's why I
could.
get like, I don't know. Like, well, like I said, he's only eating a little bit of it, and he's saving. He wants to save the regular for the road, so we have to hit up north.
Otherwise, you could probably just
Spicy's for him. It's because
keep it contained, and you could grease the floor with it in case we're trying to make an escape somewhere.
We have a wizard for that. I'm sure one of our Lyric or Andaris will have the grease spell. No, this is for me. This is
Sorry,
this
I
is-
was having
personal expense, like just like the cloak.
I was having big brain thoughts there.
But yeah, he's like, so he's gonna take a few bites after, and he's gonna save the rest for later. He's not really hungry. He's just curious.
Yep.
And curiosity has been satisfied.
Yeah.
Anyone else gonna try any?
Oh yeah, he's just walking and munching.
Which flavor are you trying?
The peppered.
Peppered? Okay, so yeah, that one, it's got that nice, good, spicy, peppery thing to it. You kind of feels like if you get some of the seasoning, you can feel it crunch in your teeth as you bite into it because that real pepper explosion. As you would have gotten fire resistance, but I'm pretty sure you already have that with your tattoo.
Yep.
Extra fire resistance.
So they would not stack, unfortunately.
Damn. Hate this game. If it don't stack, I don't want it.
Sometimes it's not all about stats. Sometimes it's about enjoying things.
I'd enjoy it better if I was resistant.
So just so we're clear, would the 2 slices both count as a month worth of prepared rations, or only 1 month each?
For 1 week.
For you, it'd be about 2 weeks each for each one.
I'm just keeping note of that.
Yeah. Let's see. I tried the sweet, and I got the cold resistance.
No, you didn't. You didn't tell. Cold is for the spicy one.
Oh.
You tried the
Okay.
teriyaki.
Yeah, I tried the sweet meat.
Yeah, so that one would actually give you lightning resistance.
Sweet. Just in case magical storm were to happen. You never know.
So again, Victor would offer Lyric some of the standard preserves. I don't think Lyric was big on spicy. At least that's what his reckoning is.
Do you have a piece of it, Lyric?
Sure.
Yep, and you have acid resistance for the day.
Acid resistance. Oh shit.
But Victor, I'll say that. Just so you know, I need that. I need to ask a small favor from you when we're back in the capital.
Here's a small bite. Now I demand a favor.
Well, it's not a big favor. It's not like life or death or anything. He just wants a little help finding a cloak when we're back in the capital. That's all. apparently, Roll20 likes to be mean to Victor.
I didn't know what. I didn't hear what you said.
That was Victor was basically offering a piece of preserved meat if Lyric helps him find a certain cloak when they're back in the capital.
Ah.
Because apparently Roll20 likes to be mean to Victor. Whatever did he do besides all the horrible things he's done?
I mean,
Semi-horrible,
look at the race that you picked. Obviously, Roll20 hates you.
obviously. clearly it's biased.
Yeah, there's one campaign I watched where a guy gets a lot of crappy rolls in Roll20.
Was he a tiefling?
No.
Oh. It would have been funny if it was like, see it proof. Fear proof. Roll20 doesn't like tieflings, clearly. But no, it's
Roll20 likes favorites.
yeah.
Anyway, what's your guys' next plan then?
Victor, while everyone's eating, would actually pull out a map. We'll pull out his map and say, all right,
Don't leave the
so
greasy stains everywhere.
they went. I know what I'm doing.
Uh-huh.
Right.
That's just the headband talking, sorry.
He got it laminated.
iSmart SMRT.
Point is though, Victor would look at the map. After wiping off his hands with whatever cloth he has, spare bit of cloth. Open the map and look for okay, so last we heard they went to the north towards what was it towards another city. So unfortunately, that's where we have to head to. Yay, more desert walking.
Desert walking.
So unless anybody has anything back at the tavern end, we should probably head out and see if we can catch up with Greg and Grog.
Yeah, might as well. Who knows? Maybe we'll run into the dwarf meat man again.
Maybe so. He'll just take a swig of water. And that's all he's got. To wash the rest of it down and make preparations to head out. Because yeah, it's literally we have full water skins. We have everything else we need, and there's not much else reason to stay in Alterra's.
You're not going to look for information on the temple?
Oh,
Why not be
thank you.
shrouded in mystery?
That was literally in the notes I don't have.
Yeah,
so,
that's why I brought it up, because you lost your notes, so.
Thank you. So, let's see. If I need to look, let's see, where would I look if I wanted to look at notes for a temple?
Up on a mountain, on a hill somewhere.
Oh. No, we probably either want. There's two places to look for: whatever local religious center or a library. Let's hit. All right, I'll take the library since I don't do well with god bothering folk. Who wants to go hit up the whatever local active temple is nearby? See if they know anything about it, about the lost one.
I can help look.
Well, sounds like Mount Bloods with Victor. So going to the library.
Yeah.
And Darius, Lyric, or you two head off to. I guess that leaves the local temple for whatever god's in favor in this town.
I'm sure they could do some sort of spiritual guidance thing that can get them somewhere.
He just kind of grumbles that y'all called dibs on the library.
I'm sorry. Did you not? You didn't speak up?
Yeah.
That's your fault.
Like, all right, fine. I'll investigate the temple.
Besides, Victor would also want. You really want me near proper god bothering folk? Really? Really?
There. So I just made a little handout so you know what resistance you get for having those jerkies. So.
Ooh.
I already punched that in as everyone was tasting theirs, so I took notes. And I took a picture of it, so I don't need it.
Well, it should be permanently in your journals, so.
Yay, journals!
Yay!
What's a journal? Let's see.
I love how I love he said, like, I've got 19 intelligence. I'm super smart now. What's a journal?
What's a paper? I don't understand this
Okay, so
It's like
backwards
parchment.
technology.
everyone, who's grouping off with who again? Just to make sure I have this right.
To the library.
Victor's taking the super smart Cloak over here, which I forget which color that was. Off to the library, and Darius has been volunteered to go lyric to a local temple.
Okay,
Volunteerman.
all four of you. Blah, blah. Roll initiative. We'll do whoever gets the highest of the two. We'll do first.
Yes. I got a 10, even though I didn't have myself selected.
That's 22 for Victor and Skull. And what'd you get, Andaris?
Damn it.
16.
So off the temple, Lyric and Andaris go. Both of you give me a perception, I guess, or survival to see if you can figure out where the temple in this city is.
And just a note, I do remember from last session, Victor did tell you what Pyronix said. About the lost temple to her father.
Can I just roll religion for that? Just looking for anything
religion would work
make
too
a
as
little
well
more
for this.
sense.
I'd allow. So
Yeah. Make a little more sense.
it would.
Nice. That's a good roll.
Modified 20.
Yeah, both of you notice that. Think, okay, religion, a temple. It's probably got a lot of steeples or high towers to it. And you do see, kind of in the shadow of the fortress, a temple looks like a fire burning at the top of a little tower in front of it. That looks religious-y.
That looks like where I can get one religion.
With a blue flame of all things.
Plus one religion.
Well,
Walk
I
in
just keep losing it, so...
A very familiar looking kind of flame.
there. You just walk in
If
there.
you want to
walk up
roll
the
another
priest.
religion
Yes.
check looking at that to see if you can
One
figure it
religion,
out.
please.
If it's familiar, do we have advantage?
Yes, you have advantage on this.
Okay. Good, that's a 20.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. What? What'd you say, Arcana?
Religion, or if you want to do Arcana, let that slide too, I should say. So,
All right.
it is God magic, so.
Yeah. 23.
Yeah, you both kind of put two and two together and realize this is the same fire that's the Eye of Solaire that's burning in the capital.
Boom, boom.
So this flame was probably lit with that same fire.
It definitely seems like the place to head.
Walk in there. One religion, please. Here's 3 gold pieces.
Okay, so you wander through that part of town. You see what looks like a more kind of in the residential area of it, but so the people living here tend to come here more, so they want it closer to them. See a few when you get closer to you see a few people in kind of like armor that's got kind of the symbols of the gods on them. You recognize as one is Solaire. You see one of let me see here. Pantheon thing, so I get this right. You see a couple of Arcana, the goddess of magic symbols that you notice. A few what looks like some of the people from that looks like more army paladins. They got the god of war on them. And you see a few of the god Incendium as well, the god of fire. As you get closer to the temple, you see a few people kind of coming and going. See what looks like a priestess, I'd say, kind of talking to a couple townsfolk outside. And just some obvious doors that look like they're open right now. So right below the big tower that's got the fire burning atop of it.
All right. And what did Victor say that specifically we were supposed to be?
A temple, an ancient temple of the god Incendium that was out in the desert. That the path, you were told that the path will open between two dunes, I believe it said.
That's right.
You just don't know where that is.
Yeah. Just go up to the Board of Tourism and be like, yeah, where could we find dunes? Like 9 people pop up from behind the counter and just point fingers in all directions.
It's on HBO Max.
But yeah, he would
Laugh at my joke. You better laugh at my joke.
please clap.
The spice must flow.
He, once they get into the temple, he'd look around. Is it sort of divvied up? Are there different altars, or is it?
Yeah, as you see, because you kind of similar to the Grand Temple or the. Make sure I get this right too. The Optimus Maximus Temple back in the capital. This is kind of a smaller version of it. You see a few different shrines labeled about it. You see the same one, the Solaire being the main one, Bahamut, Arcana. You'll also see Terra, the god of lands and mountains. The same Incendium. Resvulgar, the sky goddess, or the god of sky, sorry. And a couple other ones you don't recognize off a quick glance. You see a few people praying to him. Each of the different ones, most of them seem to be focused on Solaire, though.
Yeah, he'd wander over in the direction of the Incendium altar. Just give it a vaguely respectful little, nod gesture, and look around for any like priest/priestess looking types.
Second here.
Are there any altars that are missing?
Give me a perception check.
Perception. That's a 15.
Yes, next to Remus, the god of war, there is a missing like a shrine that was there that's missing.
Okay, can I roll a religion check to figure out which one's missing?
Yes. I'll say this with advantage because it is more common knowledge that the two gods of war, that was a kind of a war between the Remus and Romulus, where Romulus was given a fallen out because he was more war for pillaging and killing kind of Grutus, who he was kind of thrown out as a more worshipped god around here.
Okay. Is there one for Incendium?
Yes. Yes, there is.
Okay, there is one. Is there anything around the statue? Paintings, a mural, window, stained glass window, anything like that?
Due to the kind of the area, there's not many windows in this area because the sandstorms tend to break them. So most of the stuff in here is just a closed off area.
Is there any?
There's a statue in effigy of him, but that's about it.
Okay. All right, and there's no windows around here? Okay.
Yeah, sandstorms tend to break them, so they...
after the first 5 expensive statues get eroded away, you start putting up just let's do a scarecrow this time.
So as you're saying that, you see the priestess that was outside kind of walk in and talk to you. Go, oh, greetings, gentlemen. I don't believe I've seen you before. Here, my name is Raguel. I am the head priestess of this temple. It is an honor to meet you. She kind of does a little bow.
Yes, likewise. Bow, little courtly sweep of his arm, be like, you as well, your reverence? Question mark.
Oh, please, just call me. I like to be friends with everyone in this town. Just please call me Raguel.
Very well, Raguel.
Reggae.
So, what brings you into the temple today? Are you just here to pray for safe travels? Pray for something else? People come in for lots of reasons.
We were actually rather hoping you, or if there were any religious scholars in the city, you might be able to point us toward, might be able to help us with. We've been tasked with finding a lost temple of Incendium. Led to believe it's out in the desert, away from the city somewhere. There was a mention of a path being between 2 dunes, which kind of, chuckles. I don't know how much that really narrows it down, considering, but it's what we have to go off of.
Let me think on that. I do remember hearing stories in the past of an old temple of his when he wasn't in the best terms with Solaire. Kind of found it kind of between the border between here and Dragon's Bane, kind of more northeasterly. It'd be kind of on, well, it's not the border anymore. Oh, that war was not fun. But somewhere around there, I believe. There was a couple of big dunes that were kind of the old border there. Say it's about a day's journey northeast of here, if I recall.
Well, that is definitely more specific than we had to go off of before.
Yeah, nice nat 20 she got on that roll when you mentioned it, so.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, just scratching chin, like, oh, now let me see if I can remember. Draws a perfectly detailed map. How to get there? It's like, huh.
But I don't remember there. I don't know what happened to it, if it's even there anymore.
Well, if we find it, and if we are able to head back this way afterwards before we have to return to the capital, I will let you know.
Oh, I would appreciate that very much. I know we have a few people around here that worship him, and they'd probably be interested in making the journey. Pilgrimage and all that.
Yep. And have never heard of a church or temple that did not have a donation box for the air quotes, the building fund.
He kind of leans over and kind of points to a little bowl near the entrance.
Yeah, on the way out, he'd just drop a couple gold in the plate as thanks.
Is there anything else I could help you with today, gentlemen?
Lyric just stares right at her. Stares.
Hello.
He kind of looks back at you.
Slowly waves his hand in front of Lyric's face.
He said, "Gentlemen."
What was that?
She said, "Gentlemen." Lyric is clearly not a gentleman.
Oh yeah, I forgot who was here. I'm sorry. That sounds like a you problem, Skull Smasher.
You're no gentleman, and you're no lady.
Sorry, I
Lyric
meant-
is you said it's to the northeast?
Yeah.
Is there anything beyond the desert in the northeast?
Well, it gets to be more desert for a while till you get a little more northly and hit some of the the northern mountains, and it starts getting cold again. So
Okay,
that's another
and what about
2-3 days
what about-
journey.
what about to the east?
East?
More east. Yeah.
Or east, well then you'll hit Canopus, which was the city we annexed from Dragon's Bane, which is now the border city. After that you hit more desert for a couple more days. And then it gets back into another kind of plains area where the capital of Dragon's Bane is.
Heck. That was weird.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks for the information. Lyric will reach into her pocket and give 1 gold donation.
You can put it in the jar over there when you leave.
She's gonna be cool and coin flip it in the air and see if she can get it dunked from where she's at.
Okay, give me a what would be a good one for that?
I was thinking sleight of hand, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, that would be slightly.
That's a 9.
It hits tings off the side and kind of bounces and lands on the ground in front of it.
Okay, she'll pick it up when she goes back. I thought that would be cool.
She kind of gets a little giggle out of that. So, well, I will pray safe travels for you. If you wish me to direct that at any god in particular, I can do that for you.
Okay, well, thank you again.
Safe travels. As she kind of bows and... Anything else you want to do in there?
No, he will use every bit of his restraint not to just reflexively, as she says, safe travels, say, you too. Even though you're not going anywhere.
Give me a perception check quick as well.
As you witness the wings unfold from underneath the cloak.
23.
Lyric, you as well.
Sure. That was what roll? Sorry.
Perception.
Perception. That's what I thought I heard. It's 9.
Well, you don't notice it, but Andaris, you happen to see that little tabaxi Black Panther you had the card games with at the bar last night is praying to one of the shrines. The Shrine of Remus, to be exact. The god of war, the one that's good term, so.
Which one of the guys was this? Was this like the
tabaxi that was kind of bragging about being a local hero at the bar the other night?
Yeah, he would not want to, disturb his worship. But if
You do see him look at you. He does notice you as you're walking out, though.
But yeah, if he does happen to glance up, he would give a little the nod and the wave.
He ignores you.
All right.
Okay, so with that, we're going to cut over to Victor and Mountain Blood.
Alright, so we're looking for the local library.
We know what we're looking for as far as the library goes. Do we have a name?
We don't have a name of the temple, but we do have well, it's mostly I'm looking out for like old legends, history, stuff about
Legends
the
of
area.
yore. Yes.
Yeah, and basically and like I said, just kind of narrow down from there.
Okay, so yeah, give me a investigation check to try to find said library.
Oh boy,
Very-
let's would Mount Blow like to assist me in case roll 20 decides to be roll 20.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, buddy.
Oh, unfortunately not. 23.
Oh,
Yeah, you just happen to see one of the town guard walking by and you ask him, "Hey, where's the library?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, it's blah 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 blah." As you're getting pretty
Yeah,
close
over
to
there.
kind of like what looks like the administration part of the town, you see kind of a bigger building that's probably the mayor's office, and kind of across from it's like this little building that's got it says basically town records and stuff like that. That you see
Oh.
people coming and going from.
Yeah, it's the guard just notes down, oh, here, I'll put on your mini map. By what? Just as the guard walks away. Anywho, so yeah, Victor would head over to the library if it found blood at that point.
Okay, so yeah, walk inside, you see kind of a middle-aged lady with glasses kind of working behind a desk, kind of writing something in a little notebook. Can't tell what, because it's kind of behind a raised shelf behind it.
what are we looking for again?
Typical
History books.
librarian-looking lady.
Right.
She's probably going to
I'll
tell you to go
just-
shh at one point.
I'll just walk up to her and be like, "Well, hello, sweetheart. Where is your area for history and whatnot?"
She kind of adjusts her glasses and looks up at you. Ah, yes, history stuff. What exactly kind of history were you looking for? Local history? Empire-wide history?
Back at Victor, like local, right? Local.
Local then Empire wide. We're trying to find stories about a place.
Yes, so local empire history.
Ah, yes, she kind of adjusts the paper she was, then kind of gets it into an even pile and sets it back down. Walks up and kind of shows you, "Follow me. I will show you."
My charm worked on her. That's why she's helping us.
Well, like I say, you are a lady killer, Mount Blood. Just kind of
Literally.
gives him a pat on the back.
Allegedly.
Literally.
So she kind of walks you down you see a couple of different like rows of books. Kind of turns to a left down this one. They'd be down this way. As she kind
Thank you.
of turns down that way and kind of points to the section. Most of the local legend stuff are around here. If you need a table, there should be some, kind of points back over there to sit down and read. If you wish to take any out for rental, just please let me know before you leave.
No problem.
Thank you. You've been so helpful.
She kind
Much
of
appreciated.
walks
man.
away and just remember, keep quiet. People are trying to study or read stuff.
Of course.
So as soon as he turns around and hides by one of the shelves, Victor will start combing through books about any legends about specifically Incendium temples, anything. Well, did Pyronix actually mention how old the temple was?
She did not.
So he would start looking back like if he was, oh, let's say, I think she did say it was just an old temple, so probably at least 100 years or so, and trying to find
Years.
anything related to like kind of like touristy kind of, not touristy, but hey, the, anything had to do with the history of Incendium and legends and myths and temples and locations like that are associated with Incendium, as well as anything that would be of more of a as well as any books in the region.
Okay, so yeah, give me an investigation check with advantage because you've narrowed that down so well.
Yep, it's almost as if I spent time in a library before.
Go,
A lot of
Victor.
time.
And if you want to
13.
do the same, Mountain Blood, give me one as well.
21.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Okay, so
I like
yeah,
it,
Victor, going
yeah.
through the books there, you see one that say the history and construction of Fort Eagle. You see a few that are histories of like wars with Dragon's Bane of them trying to encroach on the territory. One that's like kind of like the formation of the desert, the story of the gigantic underground lake beneath the city that they use for the fountain in town, and how that was formed and used. Don't see anything about local legends going through the stuff you're listing. On the other shelf that Mountain Blood decided to look through, though, he catches one.
I look at Victor and be like, so did you want to start high and I go low? I just kind of chuckle to myself just because I'm taller.
You see one,
Yeah, laugh it up.
the history of the elected mayors of Altair,
Yeah.
and the history of... This one catches your eye. The history of religion through the years of Altair.
Maybe we should look into this one.
It's a start.
This book catches my eye. Oh God, let go, let go, let go.
So as soon as Malbus starts clown around a little bit, he'll take the book and find a table to sit down and peruse and just start skimming through.
Why do you need to find a table? They're all right here. Haha.
I don't think there's tables in between there's no tables in between bookcases.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like, well, they're all right here. Right in the middle. I found them all. And then we just find a spot.
Good eye, buddy.
Hey, gotta have some fun.
Okay, so yeah, who's going to read the book?
Victor will come to the book first, and I assume Malblood will look over his shoulder because why not?
Actually, since I have the first 100 years of the Empire book from the marketplace, I'll kind of thumb through that just in case there's anything that pops up.
Okay,
No
so yeah, both of you give me an investigation check for your books then.
All right.
Would it be an investigation, or could I use history since I'm studying history?
Okay, I will let that go for you as well. For yours then, Victor.
Thank you. 26.
7. Garbage.
Yeah, I'll do yours first then, Mountain Blood. So basically, as you see looking through that book, you learn of the story of Edmund Copernicus I, of how he, upon a great war with neighboring countries, founded and united this empire into one.
Interesting.
And you know who that should actually is, so...
Interesting.
Just basically of some of the first trials and tribulations of governing the newly birthed empire.
Very interesting.
Basically, and that his father during that war lost his life during the final battle before he took control of it in his father's death.
Got it.
Victor, looking through that book, you'll learn around the time of the great eruption on Fui Fui that a lot of the followers of Incendium that were worshipping, because this is what you were looking for exactly, in that area decided to not use the temple in town anymore and built their own temple out in the outskirts of the desert, from what you could tell. And after a while, they decided to they changed their mind, but decided to close off the temple, but for anyone else to get into it. And what you can see there is the only way to get into it is at the dusk. But between the two dunes, the light will shine to show the entrance, and those with the blood of Incendium would be able to enter.
I'll say I'm getting that down right now. So Victor would actually pull out some paper and actually start scribbling down additional notes in regards to that passage, because he knows better than Mara of a book. He's not that kind of monster.
What do you mean you don't have a phone on you? You can just take pictures with it. What the heck? That's it. I'm going to develop a device that will do that. I'll call it a sun phone.
Yes, they haven't invented Sheikah slates in this setting yet.
Call it
Only
the
those
stone
with the
phone.
blood.
It'll be great.
Let's be able to pass through. Okay, so, but it doesn't give me an idea of like where the location of the temple once was.
That is not recorded in the book, unfortunately.
But it does give like a time when around a time period when that happened. So
Well,
next,
the eruption was about 400 years ago. And it was about 200 years after that they decided to bring their worshipping back to the main temple in the city. But the book does not give the location of where it was besides the two dunes thing.
that's okay because that's that. I say as long as I have a time period, I can look at a. Victor will look at a. So once he gets his notes down, he will close that. He will start looking for book of more of geography, like of the city of Altair between 400 years ago and 200 years ago. Specifically looking for like when a temple was closed, and try to find anything that would correlate with that.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
All right.
Damn the luck, it's checked out.
23.
Nice. They
Yeah, the
turned it
most
around.
you can find looking through the books like that is you can find saying like nothing really mentions the temple or the two dunes, because that was kind of a not really contested area in war times, so it's like it had no real strategic value because there's going that far out in the desert was usually considered kind of pointless and suicidal. So even though it was technically a border area, no one really fought over it. They stuck to mostly Fort Eagle because that is where people would go through. It's because it's got the water source and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was about to say that they would stick to places that have like resources that are valuable, like water. A temple on the borderland wouldn't, other than maybe defensive wise, like being able to defend there through stone architecture. Not much value outside of that.
Yeah, they were just
So,
isolating
more for
themselves
pilgrimages.
after that eruption for some odd reason. You don't know any reason why, but that's what they did.
Well, is there any? Would I be able to find anything about the geography of of the desert, like anything that should be to account for, or any stories about the temple itself? Like what it
No.
looks like on the inside?
From what you could see from the stuff you could find, the worshippers that did stuff there didn't mention it when they came back.
So there was a silence. That's interesting. Let's see, is there anything else? That I threw now. The only other thing Victor would be curious about would be like finding a book that that talks about like local wildlife, things to be on the lookout for in the desert. Like considering they ran into a fire elemental, just general like dangers, common and rare.
Okay, yep.
As
Give
well
me
as like
another investigation on that.
sure thing. 13.
Yeah, from what you can see in desert stuff, a lot of stuff you can tend to run into are there's a lot of scorpions that could be in there, snakes, occasional spiders. Rare occasions you run into gnolls or other giant insects and stuff like that, and the most dangerous thing could be occasionally hear tales of dragons out there, or undead abominations called that were wrapped up in bandages.
Fantastic. So you will also try and like jot down some notes, just notes about like just general notes about like okay, run the scorpions, snakes, any kind of bird of prey most likely, as well as like in a scale of least dangerous to be wary of if you happen to run into it. Oh, looks like Skull Smasher's thing went dark again.
Yep.
Anywho, so let's see. Last question. What was my last question? Given we're dealing with desert, so Vader's probably putting a few places like well, let's say mostly tapped out from what I need here. Here, the most he would go put the boots back, and unless Mountain Blood wants to do any searching of himself, he's going to check in with the librarian and ask any place where I can get dungeoneering tools.
Going out on a trip in the desert, or
Bingo. So he just kind of gives the finger salute like, yep, exactly.
well, best bet is the Bazaar. You can find a lot of things there. So
Nothing specifically archaeologically, dungeoneering archaeologically wise, like just in case we find something.
no, I didn't. There's so many places there. I don't know. It's let me think
Well,
for that for a second.
He's also giving a wing left in case the library wants it. Like if he runs into anything of noteworthy value, the library might be interested in out in the desert.
Yeah, I tend to stick to more the food stalls and clothing stalls. I don't need much more than that personally. So sorry, I can't be
fair.
of more help in that aspect. As you're saying that, you see some old-looking guy that's like in his 80s. Oh, you're going on the desert, are you, young lad? Oh, you gotta be careful out there. There's things out there. I've seen some stuff. It's dangerous.
Well, we've already had a run in with fire elementals, so it can't be. So unless
Oh,
it's
fire
anything
elementals are the least of your problems. The only thing I know of that I see, if you ever see a man out there that's, I don't know, he seems to be proud of how he looks, avoid him at all costs. I don't know how he survives out there, what he is, but avoid him. I don't know how I got away from him the time I saw him, but I never went back out there. Not worth it. It's not worth it. As he's kind of walking out, kind of senile going.
Sounds like a worthy challenge.
Let me double check something here. As he's kind of walking away, says, "Why does he have blue skin? I don't know, but just stay away from him."
So Victor will look back at the library and like, just is he for real?
Yes.
Oh, it's just this weird story of a local legend called the Blue Man. Don't. It's all local hogwash. Don't worry about it. He's
Leave it.
he's old.
All right. Well, hey, maybe just in case there's any truth to it. It's always good. There's always something to be said about listening to crazy old people about weird, wild dangers. You never know. There might be a little nugget of truth to it. Because that's what my old captain used to say.
Hmm.
Well, thanks for. Oh, I do appreciate your time. Hey, but yeah, Victor's not gonna check out any books for now. He's got basically what he needs to work with.
All right, take it you found the information you were looking for. So
Yeah, some, but it's a start. Hopefully, my compatriots have had a much better time. It's got a little bit more for me. Oh, it's like have a pleasant evening, you know. He'll just kind of give that wink and like don't get your head too lost in the books. You never know what you might miss. Just kind of little playful chit chatter.
he kind of laughs at it, and well, you have a nice day now. As she kind of goes back and writing in her book, her papers. So, you just say, let's just say for simplicity's sake, you said you were going to meet back up at the fountain after you found what you could.
Yeah. Because all Vader was gonna do is pick up a dungeoneering kit, hit or two, and then meet everybody back at the fountain.
All right.
So, well, found a little bit about at the library. A little bit more about the whole walking between two dunes thing. Apparently, well, first off, apparently it was set up 400 years ago when Fui Fui blew up, like the volcano of Fui Fui. 200 years ago, they closed down the temple and moved back to their main city. So generally, we'll probably look at some place that's been buried and somewhat lost to seas of time, if we're more or less.
Well, we have an approximate direction. North. Did she say northeast or northwest?
Northeast.
Yeah,
East
northeast. About day and a half or so, perhaps. Travel.
There was like, and Victor pointed out, notice will also point out. Apparently, there was something about only the blood of Incendium will be like some of the blood of Incendium will be allowed to pass through.
Oh, that's
People with the blood of Incendium.
Yep.
that's mildly concerning.
Well, I'm assuming it's intentionally vague, so we'll see what that entails. I also want to. I've also got a couple of warnings. I also picked up a couple of warnings. Apparently, other than snakes and scorpions, there's dragons, bandaged wanderers, like some kind of and like the occasional undead. I'm pretty sure it wasn't they weren't specifically noted as mummies. They were just strange creatures.
Give me an
completely
intelligence check.
vanished. Yeah, well, I will do that. 9.
I'll say with advantage because I see what you were getting at there. Yeah, the bandage things were probably mummies.
Yeah, so they don't know, like, possibly mummies. These were wandering around there, and an old man warned me of a blue-skinned man who's really proud of himself. I'm going to avoid at all costs.
It's oddly specific.
Yeah, hence is why I took note of it. Maybe we're lucky. We'll see out there, find what we need, and take off before we bite off more than we can chew.
To take off or take him on? I heard take him on.
Again, we
I'll
won't
show him.
know. It's like we won't know until we run into him. And I'm hoping for less trouble than causing trouble or having it.
We
Well,
defeat him. He wouldn't be any problem at all. Won't be any trouble at all. Nobody else's problem.
Other than that, couldn't find any more details about the temple itself, the insides, like what like any specific marker about or any other detail that we need to know. That's the best. Like I said, we got a direction. We got some points to follow on. So I'd say by nightfall we should be off. Like early, like late evening, early nightfall. We should probably take off for it. Get a move on before it gets too cold.
Yeah, that is the question. Do we prefer traveling by night or day? Do we want to have to deal with the the horrible heat and the blowing sand, or the cold more?
Well, I'm assuming for Lyric's sake, even though she's got the parasol, the by midday is not may not necessarily be the greatest. That's why I was figuring out. He was thinking maybe closer to night will be better. So it's not like a majority of us don't have dark vision.
Yes, fair enough.
So unless anybody has any votes otherwise, we're just gonna go to the bazaar and get some dungeoneering kits. Just because he's assuming there's gonna be some spelunking involved. Because desert, sand, if that stuff isn't taken care of, it's gonna basically fill up and cover up your entire temple. He's not expecting digging, he is however expecting Wages of the Lost Ark-esque nonsense.
Dun, 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 dun.
So quick question, would I have to roll to find a bazaar that sells dungeoneering kits? Or can we just shortcut and say, hey...
Kits in general. I want kits in general. Just stock up on them all.
Let me check.
It should be pretty common, so... By the way, if there was mentioning it's only like a day or so away, that's a good enough detour to go check
It
out.
would be pretty easy to find or piece that stuff together if you can't find stuff. So yeah, I'd say 10 gold. You have all the stuff in there besides the backpack because you already have the bag of holding.
Yeah.
That'd be a crowbar, a hammer, 10 pythons, 10 torches, a tinderbox, 10 days of rations, and another water skin, and 50 feet of hempen rope.
Can never have too much rope.
So, when are you guys going to set out then?
I'm good with immediately.
Well, they were saying a little later for Lyric because
Night.
so that's what I was saying, like early evening, because just as the sun's going down is the perfect time to head out.
Yeah, that way it's not so
We
hot.
don't have to deal with exhaustion at night.
Well, that's the point, is that it will be getting cooler, so we'll be well on our way. It will be nice and cool before it gets freezing, and we have to stop for the night or stop for early morning.
Seems fair. It seems like a logical idea.
So I'm assuming it's about midday right now, right?
I'd say it's about noon.
Yeah. So does anybody have any stuff left back at the tavern?
Yeah, but I'm sure we could start something.
Already heard. So yeah, gather your things. That's like I said, Victor's base say like early nights. About time we get out into the desert, it should be nightfall.
Before
I'd say if you
before
leave
we head
about
back,
when the sun's going down, you'd have a couple of hours where you can travel where it's not super hot but not super cold either.
Yeah, that was essentially what he was getting at. So you still want to be able to see where you're going, and not have too much trouble with stuff that hunts at night.
say if the market's still open, I want to just see if there's a tinkering kit available.
What kind of tinkering kit?
Just a regular tinkering kit, unless there's specific ones out there. Like crafting purposes. See.
Yeah, Tinker's tools, you could find those pretty easy. They'd be 50 gold.
Nice. Yeah. That way just help me keep busy. So I said
Okay.
50 for it.
50 gold, yep.
Perfect. That'll work.
You guys want to set out then?
Yep.
Show.
Okay, so you set out as the sun's starting to go down, so it'd be like a normal hot day in a normal area, so it's a little hot, but nothing's gonna get exhausted if you don't routinely drink water. Water. And you're heading up kind of northeast,
Yep.
you said? Okay. So everyone give me a perception check here.
$11.
18.
Also 11.
So yeah, basically Lyric, Victor, and Darius along the way, you see a couple of vultures that seem to have found a looks like a donkey or something that had died from exhaustion or exposure out in the desert that they're kind of munching on. Maybe had gotten away from like a local farmer, livestock holder or something, but didn't make it, so they've got a nice meal to it. Along the way, Skull Smasher, you do happen to catch a few more cactuses that have some of the prickly pears growing on them. That wouldn't be too far out of your path to grab.
Hey, look, prickly pears. They want some?
Not to actually looks over the supplies. I'm good.
Alright, anybody else?
Yeah, sure. Toss me one.
Yeah, you get enough to get like 6 of them.
Nice. Alright, 6.
Okay, so as the sun starts coming down, does anyone... What kind of clothes are you guys wearing?
But he's still wearing his plate mail. Has adamantine plate mail. He's still wearing with this light pad clothing underneath.
Okay,
And
Mountain
I knew
Blood, I
Cloak.
know you're technically used to the cold because you grew up in that, so... You're used to this, so it's not going to affect you any. Lyric?
Lyric is just going to be in our regular garb, which is just regular clothing. Nothing super insulated, but nothing super light.
Yeah. And Darius, pretty much his usual with his cloak over it to wrap around himself. It's not the most insulated, but he's not going suns out, guns out like he usually is. He has something to cover himself with.
Okay, so Victor, give me a Constitution check with advantage. Lyric, um, and Lyric with disadvantage, and just Darius a normal one.
May I ask why disadvantage?
Because you're just wearing the most basic clothes when it's getting below freezing.
Holy shit, this desert doesn't make any sense.
Different deserts have different qualities to them.
Yeah, but usually, as someone who's lived in a desert, usually, when it's 120 degrees outside, it doesn't go to below freezing at night.
When it's like the frickin', Sahara type, just sand forever. Yeah, they can get pretty frickin' cold.
Yeah, that's what I've read as well. I know that's
They drop temperature, yes, but that doesn't go from 110 to below freezing.
It's been a couple hours, so at this point you're...
There's like a 40-degree swing.
in a magical land, yes, so...
Thank you, that's fine.
Anything
I can
goes.
live with it being magical.
15.
Yeah. Honestly, this wasn't that hard of a check anyways. It was only going to be a 10, but since you're not wearing
Do torches give off heat? They're torches.
Well, they didn't tell me you had a torch lit.
Well, I'm just asking.
So yeah, basically, yes, a torch would give off heat.
Okay.
It's fire.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Wimpy,
What's up?
just did a quick Google search. I know I've heard before that it gets freezing out in the Sahara. So we're dealing with Sahara Desert. Yeah, it gets minus 4 degrees Celsius at night.
It does in the wintertime, and the average high in the wintertime in the Sahara Desert is like 70 degrees. Not hot. It's very comfy.
Yeah. So in this case, I would say it's probably, well, like I said, it's Fantasyland, so we don't know what season we're in at the moment.
100 degrees during the day, negative 100 at night.
Well, that's the actual layer line. The point is though, anyway. So
Yes.
it can happen. It just depends on season.
Yes, I've been in Arizona where it dropped below the freezing point where it had frost, but the daytime temperature at max was like the low 60s. You weren't going to get heat exhaustion in December in Arizona.
Okay, so that's it. That's more. We can.
But yeah,
quote science
basically,
later.
everyone noticed that Lyric's kind of visibly shaking because of how the temperature change.
I would offer myself as far as warmth goes to Lyric, or to keep them warm.
Fortunately, I don't have any. Yeah, get away. I don't have any spells that would provide warmth. And outside of that,
That wouldn't provide too much warmth.
yeah, like I said, the cloak I just picked up is not really suited for this area, so unfortunately, don't have much in the way of helping.
I mean, I do have a costume I could probably rig up
I mean,
as far as
Lurk has plenty of clothes. She could just put on more clothes if she needs to.
Let's say if we rest for the night, then yeah, we can you can change to something warmer.
I would say she just has her armor and then like fine clothes going over her, but she has 2 sets of costumes she can put on.
So yeah, if you want to take a minute to put on one of those costumes to ease the shivering, you can.
All right, that I can do. It's always easier to put on more layers.
Okay, so yeah,
agree.
you're able to stave off your shivering, but you're still a little chilly out, so...
Better than nothing.
Unfortunately, I do not have a single torch. Why do I need a torch? I have night vision. Oh, it might get cold. Well, why are we going in the cold? Because it's super freaking hot.
And Victor just bought 10 torches, so...
Oh, I do have. Oh, well, then Victor will offer a torch.
Lurk will wave it off. She's okay now.
So, as you guys are walking through the desert, you do notice that it's not in the town. You can kind of really see the stars in the sky, kind of like that whole big arm of the Milky Way where it's just everything in this night is just stars everywhere.
Yeah.
Or like the
So
constellations are hard to make out because there's just so goddamn many of them.
I like those nights.
But you do just still notice the star used for northward guidance that you're using as a marker to find your way to where you need to go. Everyone give me a perception check again.
Eight.
11.
How does that danger sense thing work for you again?
13.
Yeah,
A
this
danger
wouldn't affect
sense.
that. Yeah.
Let's see. I'll just post it here.
And what'd you get for your perception, Lyric?
Oh, didn't go through. There we go. Come on, go through. There we go. Thank you. And 11.
Mediocre rolls all around.
Yay!
Everyone, you notice what sounds like some sand shuffling off in the distance, but you can't make out which direction it's coming from.
Who?
Everyone.
Okay.
Actually,
You hear that?
it's almost as if if I had someone for scouting, who would I? Oh wait, you know who I have popped out? And Victor's going to pop out from a pocket dimension. Nerl, his good old familiar quasi hellhound.
Okay.
Oh, he's a
I was
good
about to say. I'm like, what happened to the dog? And
Oh, he's in a pocket dimension. I didn't know how he acted in the desert. So, hey boy, hey now, let's go sniff around, see what that shifting. He just points over, like talk to him like it's another person. Go find out what that shifting around out there. Don't get into danger. Just run back. And Victor's fine familiar sense is kind of focus his senses through Gnarl
Okay.
because you can do that apparently.
So give him a perception check for him.
Sure thing. Let me just get him pulled up. Perception. And awful 7. Actually, would it be with advantage or disadvantage?
I'd say with advantage, but that's not going to be enough to catch what it was. So
Sure. Yeah, it does say for a dog at least they have keen sense of hearing and smell, so they have advantage on perception checks. Rely on hearing and smell.
so that would have helped this particular situation, but not with that roll.
So nothing.
So he comes back and just kind of looks at you, and couldn't find what it was.
Kind of does that dog me whimper of like couldn't find nothing. It's okay. You did your best. And Victor would just pick him up and just kind of hold on to him well, it's nothing to worry about until it's something to worry about. So might as well stop and take watch. Given that he trusts his dog, like he trusts his dog a lot to for good sense of alertness. Victor will take the first watch of his familiar
So you're
Why
stopping for
are
the
we
night then?
camping?
because there's something rustling out there. And I'd rather know what it is before moving on.
Well, we were trying to move through the desert at night so that we didn't have to deal with the heat.
Well, I said he starts quoting. I'd rather know what we're dealing with in case it's a problem.
How far away did this sound like? I know we don't know the exact location, but we can kind of like idea.
Like near, close,
Yeah,
Far away.
did it sound like it was super near or?
It sounded like it's pretty close to you. Couldn't quite. it was
Alright,
kind
fuck
of-
it. I'm throwing up my clairvoyance literally up in the air. 1,000 feet, so that way I can see.
Okay,
That works.
give me another perception check.
it'll be nothing.
19.
There we
Nice.
go. Kind of to the west of you, kind of looking from the distance, but kind of hiding behind some dunes, you see a pack of hyenas.
Crap.
from the west of us. We were going northeast, so they came. Okay. Lyric is going to say, "Oh, it's just a pack of hyenas. We can kind of let them off our trail if we leave them some sort of meat on the ground."
No. Don't like that idea at all.
Saw that coming.
Oh well, I will. This guy Larry has a good point, and he will take out like a few slices of a few. He'll take out his dagger, go into the bag of holding, get a few chop offs, and slice off some bits and pieces of like a good handful, like a small handful of the standard preserved meat, and we'll toss it in like behind them.
Get the smell,
Which
and
rations were
they're
you
gonna
doing that
follow
with?
us.
What?
Which rations were you doing that with?
The standard preserved meat, the not the spicy, that's his. The standard preserved jerky was for everybody.
The original?
The original.
Okay, so yeah, you take off 5 days of that.
So
We
that's
just like
2
cast a
cookies.
spell in it, or like trap
no.
it for them.
No,
They get
no,
killed.
no. He's got an option for it. He's gonna use thaumaturgy and heighten the smell. So basically, draw them as close as possible, and then prompt him. Let's get the hell out of here. All right. So that should be enough for a pack of hyenas. So in that case, yeah, let's book it.
Well, as you said, that's the same that 10 days of ration you just bought in that dungeoneering kit didn't get used for that, so...
Well, I specifically went to the surfing because I want something that would have a greater sense of smell, and I don't think the trail rations from the dungeoneering kits and what he's carrying around would do the trick.
Fair enough. That's your choice. I'm not going to stop it.
Yep,
Just
I just
bringing it
don't.
up.
I don't. No problem. I appreciate the thought, but I did think of that. Fair. This might be a little. I don't want to deal with fighting hyenas right now. I've got better things to fight. Possibly fight.
Okay, so yeah, after a couple hours pass, you don't hear the shuffling of those hyenas anymore. Everyone give me another perception check.
Perception.
How long did you say this walking was for?
Couple
Natural
more
20
hours.
plus 2.
13.
Okay.
18.
So your clairvoyance is long gone.
Yeah, I couldn't remember how long it was
High
for.
rolls all around. Yeah, I had a natural 20 plus 2, so 22.
So yeah, what'd you say you got again, Andaris?
13.
13, okay. So both Victor, Lyric, and I guess definitely Skull Smasher coming up ahead, you do see what seems like a really high dune kind of as you crest over this next hill. Kind of notice that in the distance that dune seems really high off about I'd say 30-minute half-hour walk ahead of you.
I'm normally high.
Yeah, abnormally high one about 30 minutes an
Strange.
hour away.
That seems odd.
That is odd, but that also might be one of the dunes we're looking for. There was no real detail about how close these dunes were. Just
They did say it would be about
a
a
day's worth.
a day, like a normal day travel's journey, and you're getting close
So-
to about what that would have been in the desert.
Okay, so that might be marker 1. We'll know until we get there.
Proceed with caution, boys and lady.
So you gotta
What do you
head,
tell
head
me,
towards
boys?
that.
Yep.
Let me roll something here.
Random encounter die.
Oh no, it's like, oh no, we've run across a dragon turtle. Roll initiative.
Oh, I was just listening to Critical Role, and they were just taking on a turtle dragon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was just reading a little bit about them. Oh my god.
I'm gonna let those rolls slide. You do hear that same kind of hyena shuffling coming from behind you, Mountain Blood.
They're behind us now. The hyenas
fantastic.
behind us.
Let's hoping that we keep them longer.
But at Mountain Blood, you notice that both Victor and Lyric both notice that too as well. But you notice it's really quiet. This one, it only seems like probably only one hyena this time.
It could be just a scout. I only sense one. By checking out the pile of food.
I said, do you know? Can we get an idea of how far away this one hyena is? Like a
About
sense of it?
5 minutes behind you, I'd say.
Mm.
What Victor,
He's
what
close.
Mountain Blood could tell, because I'm gonna let, like I said, let that nat 20 roll.
They're near. They are very near.
All right. Well, there's danger ahead. Let's put it this way: Mountain Blood, since we have one behind us, stay to the back because yeah,
Yep.
I trust you to run faster in case it's nothing.
I'll watch.
And we'll leave Endaris and myself towards the front. Lyric will stay in the center because healer. Let's not get our healer in front of any danger if we can help it.
So you're just gonna wait for it to come up to you?
Let's continue to head towards the dune. I will just keep an
Yeah.
eye out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, that we keep going, but we'll just, since Mountain knows the hyena trail behind, he can watch behind while Endaris and Victor take the lead.
Okay. So yeah, since you're kind of tracking this hyena that's kind of probably following you, you do take about an hour to get to that big dune. And when you get to there, you see kind of like there's a little, seems to be like a little path there that's a rocky path that like seems to, because of the wind that goes between these two giant dunes, doesn't let sand stay there. And you do see kind of to the, going more a little bit eastward, right? Yeah, kind of going more eastward between the dunes. You do see another big dune. From what you can tell, this is probably the place you're supposed to be.
All right. So the only thing we gotta do is travel like somewhere between the two, since that's where the with that sunrise we should be able to notice the path we should be taking.
Everyone, give me an intelligence check.
Standard
Yep.
intelligence check.
22.
Intelligence check.
8. Jesus. Ugh.
Not one.
Victor, it dawns on you. It said to find the temple. It said at dusk.
So we're gonna have to wait out because we're not dumb. We need to wait till dusk. Shit. Then again, hold on. If we had left during midday, we would have only been half a day's travel. We would still be at night.
Yeah.
So
We'd have to wait longer.
You would have, if you would have left right then and there, you would have gotten there at about dusk, based off what you saw.
Well, I didn't know that because I heard a day's travel out, so that's what I worked with. Not blaming anybody. I'm just saying that's what the logic told me that we should roll with. Well, at least we don't have a specific time frame like first light of Darren's day or some nonsense. Oh, what's that?
Barry wants to give me another little perception check.
Do me good, do me good, do me good.
16.
Dice roll. 13.
1.
And Victor? Did we lose Victor? Did he get that stupid Discord glitch where he can't hear anything?
Probably. Happened to me twice already. It's so dumb. See, Survivor got muted.
No, he's muted for some odd reason. Did you mute your mic by mistake, Survivor?
Nope, I was just being asked things, so
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't want to have that echo on stream.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Well, what are we rolling?
Perception.
One more time.
Okay, Victor would have his familiar out, so I'm going to roll for both, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So for Victor first, perception. That's 20.
Ooh, nice. Sick roll, bro.
And
And,
just what he's doing
just-
the other one, Andaris. What was your roll again? I forgot what you said.
16.
Okay.
I'm going to roll for Gnarl as well.
Okay.
22.
So yeah, Lyric, you look up, ooh, the stars sure are pretty right now.
Damn right.
Both Skull Smasher or Mountain Blood and Darius, you notice what looks like to be like the remains of like a campfire. Someone had set up a little fort or way station here, or something like a little camp. And there's some leftover wood sitting around. And Victor, you happen to notice what looks like kind of sticking to the sand, but looks like a tent of some kind.
Ah. So we've got company.
But yeah, you can tell looking at that fire pit, it's been burned out for a few days. It's just kind of on the stone part that's there, so it doesn't get buried in sand.
Still, though, that means someone did come through this area. So, how close we are to the old camp?
Few feet.
All right. So, okay. So we're actually at pretty much there.
Yeah.
Victor would check the tent.
Yeah, you have to lift it up and get some of the sand buried off of it, but it looks like with a little work you could have a little tent to keep you out of the sun until dusk.
Perfect. So we don't have to sleep. We don't have to sleep out on the dunes
Goes
tonight.
So yeah, if anyone wants to put the tent back up, it would take a survival check to get it back going.
Oh boy. Anyone wanna help Victor clear out the tent?
Yep,
Sure.
I'll help push.
16.
Hey, you do notice a couple of parts where some of like the little poles came undone from how they stuck into each other. Some parts need to be retied. Just gotta carefully take some sand off it, but it's a good like. You could probably fit a party twice your size in this tent. It's a nice big one.
Modified 20.
Yeah, honestly, with that 16, that was enough. So.
Now it's extra clear. No more coarse dry sand everywhere.
Yep, there is a couple rips and tears in it, but the little handiwork can get them fixed with Andaris' roll there. As you're doing that, though, you noticed a little small hyena is kind of looking at you, kind of off from the distance.
He's
It looks
there.
a little injured.
Wait. Looks like he's hurt.
I'm not good with animals. Other than my good boy here.
Come here, little buddy.
But
Just
I
break off a little piece of
so
jerky.
more common. Victor's no good with wild animals.
Okay, give me
He's
a
gonna leave it to
handle
an
animal
expert.
check with
Little buddy.
advantage on that Mountain Blood.
Seriously, it just happened again.
What was that? Wow, Discord does not like you today.
Yeah. He's angered the elders of Discord. Now they're punishing him at the worst possible time.
I will tell him in there so we can at least roll it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good roll. I was gonna say with advantage, but tell me when you're
Fine.
back so I can say what happens. You hear us yet?
Nope.
Rolled or Discord. I've never seen it do this before.
Huh.
And he left the room. And is he back? Can he hear us now? Are we audible to you? Can you hear us, Mr. Mountain Blood? Nope. We wait on bated breath.
Soon we will know the fate of this hyena.
He is typing. He is still typing. Technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Don't chase that down, shits.
Ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da.
Here's the question: can Skull Smasher hear us?
He's not in the room right now.
Ah.
Like he's back in it now. Can you hear us now, man?
Yep, I'm back.
Okay, good. So yeah, as you kind of take off a piece of the meat, the hyena kind of approaches it a little cautiously, but it kind of grabs it and kind of starts chewing on it and walking off. Now that this is this close to you, everyone give me a perception check.
That's a 4. Wait, I've got gnarl.
20.
No, that's hearing or smell. That's not vision.
Heck.
Bleh.
And Lyric, I'm going to let you have advantage on this one.
8.
Wimpy, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, roll for perception looking at this hyena with advantage for you.
Okay, 9.
Okay, well,
9.
Mountain Blood notices the most closely that this hyena is clearly freshly injured. And even you noticed this one with that 9 Lyric, because you did see him before. This one is the small one that was in the group before.
Okay, what kind of roll would I need to make to see if I know hyenas are predatorial versus scavengers?
Nature?
Nature!
Arr.
12.
Nice.
I honestly can't remember if hyenas, they're mostly
They're-
try to
they're-
scavenge, so.
Okay, I would
Yep.
say.
But if they're
regularly
desperate, they will attack things, so.
Okay, so Lyric's is gonna move up to the hyena that's injured. Is it super
Not put on.
serious?
Like, couple bite marks on its legs. Like, it fought for the food that you left behind and it lost.
Oh.
Okay, Lyric's gonna come up with the piece of food, one of her rations, and let me just go ahead and just mark off one of my rations here.
And you can roll a handle animal with advantage since this one's already kind of a little trusting of Mountain Blood.
That's a 20.
Yeah, it kind of just comes up and grabs it and starts chewing on it and just ignoring you.
I'm gonna say you're gonna feel better, Mr. Hyena, and give it a healing word.
Okay. And yeah, that puts it back up to full health. So it kind of looks at you, looks at the food, and just kind of scampers off.
Here we go.
And with that, until dusk rolls around, All right, the next day, I'm saying this is where we're going to end the session for the day.